Good morning and welcome back, everybody. This is rumble.com/JJW, and I am JJW. Every morning we meet here, Monday through Friday at 6:30 in the morning to talk about news, politics, culture, pop culture, weird stuff, whatever just kind of creeps into our news feed, and drink some coffee, talk with your friends, hang out if you want. Let us know what's going on in the world and help us let other people know what's going on in the world. And joining me every single morning is the man with the voice and the talent and the knowledge, and he's the guiding light of the whole show, for sure. Deacon. Uh,
How's it going this morning, JJ?
oh my god!
Sorry.
Oh my
I,
god! I'm gonna
the man
I'm
with the
gonna
voice.
be a
Hey guys, how's it going? Is everybody okay today?
I'm gonna be a balloon engineer this morning, Deacon.
Are you a balloon engineer? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a
Got it.
balloon engineer.
How was your weekend, buddy?
Yeah. I have little
Yeah, me
kids,
too.
and
Uh,
they don't always listen when I talk.
this weekend sucked,
Mm.
man.
For you or me?
For
Because for me,
me,
it was not great.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Well,
happened?
it's
What happened?
no. I just people like to
I had
argue
a
with
lot.
me for some reason, and I just don't know why.
Did you just keep arguing, or were
I
you like,
I
I
think
don't want to have this
I'm beginning
conversation?
to think as a 45-year-old man, I'm beginning to think that maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe I just come off as an
Oh,
asshole to everybody. I don't mean to. And a lot of times I'm just trying to, a lot of times I'm trying to state my beliefs or or what I'm trying to state what I believe. And a lot of times it's lack of patience with people. I have
yeah.
a lack of patience with people that don't pay attention to me, if they're not listening to me when when I'm talking, if they're just kind of I have lack of patience with that stuff. So if you're not going to give me the the common courtesy to listen to me when I'm talking, I'm not
Right.
even going to I'm not even going to waste my time with you. I've just gotten to where I'm an
That makes
asshole.
sense.
But I think I'm an asshole to people because the way that I just have lack of patience with people. So I don't know. I don't know if I need to change the way I am around everybody, or if I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm like, I'm 45 years old. Screw you, assholes. I'm going to do what I want. And if you don't like me, I don't freaking care. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life trying to
Hmm.
cater to other people when I could cater to myself and do what I want. I'm not purposefully walking around the world being an asshole. I'm just tired of catering to everybody. I
Right.
want it to go my way instead of me catering to everyone else.
Hmm.
I want it's my turn. I'm
Right.
old. I'm old. I'm hurting all the damn time. I'm ready for it to be my turn. I'm sick of catering to everybody. You always heard that. Well, dad's that way. Dad's always been that way, or dad's always had this, or dad likes it this way. I'm not that way, but I'm fixing to be that way. It's
Yeah.
fixing. Dad, you know how dad is. He's always got to have it that way.
Well, like some people are naturally like they just give give to other people, and they put everybody first. And there's other people that are like that are like passively, not even maliciously, they just are consuming, and they will consume your
Yeah,
energy and your
consume
time and
everything.
everything. And
Mm,
and it's
mm.
like, and they don't even notice. And then when it like comes up, they'll be like, oh, and then they'll like kind of move on and just consume other people,
And
and it just like
consume other people. They're a virus. You're exactly right. And me and my mother were the exact same way. I always used to call her a doormat, because she let people walk all over her.
yeah.
My mother had nothing and would give you everything she had. She was
Right.
the most selfless person in the world. And that's how I've,
Thinking
I
it, thinking that people would give it back, right?
Right.
Eventually.
To thinking that everybody has some good. And the older I get, the more I realize that this world is chock full of evil bastards, and only the good people they never get heard from. the good people very rarely get heard from.
Mhm.
The good people are the little ones, and all these assholes that you see on TV and all these people that have all the money.
Oh,
and
those are definitely not good people.
those are definitely the fucking evil people that get
You
everything.
know,
And the only justification in my life is that I believe that they will be judged in the afterlife. That's my only
Yeah.
justification.
that's
Because
your
you can't
constant. I think you're saying consolation. Consolation.
yeah,
Like,
it was my only
Yeah.
consolation. Yeah, you're right.
you know, I kind of have this opinion that nobody's good, and I really believe that like there's not any good people, but I know what you're saying. There's definitely people that will be like that would passively consume other people, and then there's people that are constantly giving in the hope that eventually the one that they actually care about people, but two, hoping that when it comes around and they're actually in need, that people will be there for them, and unfailingly people fail them because human beings are people. Human beings will absolutely let you down. They will.
Yes.
So, but that doesn't mean there's no point. That doesn't mean there's no point. You have to be as good as you can to the people around you. But you know what? Because sometimes it's this, and this is just a different way to reframe it, right? People are also weak. People are weak, and they'll do what's selfish, and they'll do what is in their own best interest. And if you have the vision of like like this is going to be better for other people, or I'm trying to help people, and even if it costs you, it's better for you to give it up for you to do that.
You're exactly right.
You got to because you can be strong. Now, with that in mind, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Hit the like button for me. Hit the like button for me.
All right.
All
What's
right,
our
Deacon.
stories?
I'm sorry you had a bad weekend.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
I mean,
No,
dude,
good.
did
I
you
don't
see
wanna-
all the balloons that got popped this weekend? There were like
I
so
wasn't
many
really
balloons.
paying attention. I kept seeing stories pop up where UFOs and all this bullshit, and I'm just ignoring. I just ignored the shit now. So
Yeah.
I had other stuff going on this weekend to worry about. Stupid government bullshit. So please enlighten me and let me know what happened.
I mean, I lost count of how many balloons there were, but they shot a balloon down over Alaska. They shot a balloon down over northern Canada. They shot a balloon down over Lake Huron. They just they shot down so many balloons that it's like it's become the new national defense policy. If there's a balloon up there, we're gonna pop it. And I feel like it's really reactionary because the Biden administration took so much heat for letting the Chinese spy balloon traverse the entire northern American continent before they did anything. And so now, as soon as they see them, when they're taking it down, so there's just a whole bunch of balloons, and most of them are a lot smaller. They don't have the big tech package that first one had. So I don't know what's going on with China and just floating balloons in other people's territory. But hey, you guys maybe gotta cut that shit out. Because American balloons are a lot more rocket shaped and stuff. So you can just stop. Maybe keep your balloons in your own area. I don't think we know anything that is important about any of the subsidiary balloons yet. I just saw a story that China now claims that it saw UFOs. We'll see if that happened or not. But currently, the White House is definitely on anti-balloon stance. They are just, if it's a balloon, they're taking it down. So that's really all there is to say about that at the moment. We just don't know anything. We don't know how spy-y the spy thing was. We don't know if these other ones were actually spy balloons. They're a lot smaller. Let's talk about this, Deacon, because we didn't last. So that's all I'm going to talk about balloons today, unless something interesting comes up. It's not that interesting, other than this meme that I posted of a dog running around popping balloons, and that's basically what we're doing right now. John Fetterman has been discharged from the hospital after doctors rule out a stroke. So, Deacon, I'm going to say this right now up front. Deacon and I deliberately did not run the Fetterman stories last week. We both saw them And we didn't run the Fetterman stories because we were like, we don't want to like make a show about this guy going to the hospital when we were among the chorus of people saying this guy shouldn't be running for Senate. He's sick. So
he should not have been in a position to make any kind of decisions for anything. Do you want him driving a car? Do you want John Fetterman driving a vehicle with you and your family in it, JJ?
Right. No. If I called Uber and I was like, I need an Uber, and the Uber driver shows up and it's John Fetterman, I'd be like, I can walk.
No thanks. Nothing against you, but you're having strokes. I don't want you
to die in a car wreck.
Decision-making skills. And so the people of who was it? Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Are all retarded, I guess. So
they it's important in America
because I said slow.
I think you're allowed to say that. I mean, he's not retarded. He's just stroked up.
No, I'm making a point. He's not retarded. Yeah. He's had a stroke. I'm making a point here. He has no business. But we didn't want to run the story because I don't want to make fun of somebody in the hospital having problems. I don't want the man to have problems. I don't like the man. I might not agree with some of his stuff, but I don't want him to die. I don't wish him ill.
No.
No
way.
I just don't want him in charge of shit.
And I didn't really want to run it as like a "see, I told you so" type thing. But we did say this guy's sick. He should not be running for Senate. But the people of Pennsylvania, they selected the very best that they could for this position.
I guess
anyway, so
JJ.
John Fetterman has been discharged from the hospital after doctors have ruled out a stroke. So he was admitted to the hospital because he was having dizziness and I think like not fainting, but he was lightheaded, which is, if you've already had a stroke and you've already been hospitalized, and if you're
maybe concerning a little bit, exactly,
speech centers of your brain are now damaged to the point where you can no longer speak or listen to people and understand what they're saying, then something a little like lightheadedness comes along, you're definitely going to take it serious, and he absolutely should. It's just that maybe he shouldn't be a senator while he's doing that. So Fetterman, who suffered a life-threatening stroke in May, just days before the Senate primary, was taken to the hospital Wednesday after feeling lightheaded. He was in the hospital for a couple of days, and he's been released. And the doctors have said it's not a stroke. It's not a stroke. Now, I will also bring up. Oh, I didn't even bring the story up. You guys want to see a picture of Fetterman? He's so cute. Here, I have this adjoining story. This story came out last weekend, and I didn't run it, but now I'm gonna. Top Fetterman aide says the campaign may have caused permanent damage. Contradicts donor doctor's letter. So. Top aide for John Fetterman on Friday when he was in the hospital said his Senate campaign may have caused permanent brain damage, contradicting the letter Fetterman's doctor wrote that said he can work full duty in public office. Now, the doctor, I believe, is a donor to Fetterman, so he has a vested interest in this guy going back to work. According to the New York Times, Fetterman has been struggling to adjust to his new life as a U.S. Senator. He was hospitalized Wednesday after feeling lightheaded at a Senate retreat and has been frustrated with the fact that he may have set himself back permanently by not resting enough after his stroke. The report says Fetterman is accepting he might have permanent brain damage. The Times also noted that those close to him are worrying he is still pushing himself too much and that it could be detrimental. In October, Fetterman's doctor, Clifford Chen, the campaign donor, wrote that his physical exam was normal, his lung exam was clear, his heart rate was regular, his strength was normal, and all four extremities without any strength or coordination deficits. So, let's see. However, Fetterman's chief of staff, Adam Gentleson, told the Times that Fetterman's recovery might not be as smooth as expected. What you're supposed to do is recover from this, is do as little as possible. Fetterman was forced to do as much as possible. He had to get back to the campaign trail. It's hard to claw back from that. So, all right, there you go. There we go, Deacon. I read the stuff. Maybe So it seems like there's like the media saying Fetterman's okay, it's not a big deal, and there's his own campaign staff that were like, he might have made a life altering bad decision.
Okay, who are you going to believe?
Yeah, I don't know.
At this point, I'm like, whatever.
Right.
I mean, this is where I get to where I was talking about earlier. Am I an asshole? Because at this point, I'm like, I don't care. You've made this decision for yourself. If you suffer the consequences of doing this, the long-term health consequences of doing this,
right?
That's your own
I
damn
mean,
fault. People tried to
well,
tell you. It's your own damn fault. You know, it's his own damn fault if we get some, oh, Fetterman's a vegetable now and he sits in a chair and looks out the window and drools is all he can do because he had a massive stroke because he
Right.
didn't heal. The doctors told him he needed enough time to heal and he didn't do it. And now all he does is draw pictures and colors with a crayon
Oh my God.
and drools on a paper. Well, you know what? He done it to himself. He did not.
Yeah.
You know, life is full of
No, and you know what? And he was encouraged and enabled by his wife and his entire political staff. You know, they were like, "You can do this. You can do this." Yeah, maybe you can, but you know,
everything in your life, JJ, is a choice. Every single thing you do is a choice. Everything. So
all right,
it's all your fault. You can't.
We
blame
got some more.
Somebody else.
We got some additional "I told you so" news. If you're interested in "I told you so"ing people, and I am.
I'm actually getting sick of saying "I told you so" all the damn time. Aren't you? Aren't you getting sick of saying "I told you so" all the time?
I mean,
I've said it a little more than you have, though.
Yeah. All right. Now we can't exactly say "I told you so" here, but if you recall, probably like I don't know when was this? It was August, maybe September over the. It was September 26th. Back in September, you know, during the middle of this pointless Ukrainian war.
Do you get that? Do you get that joke?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember. All right. Oh man. Oh.
You don't go off on a tangent.
Didn't that video like debut during the Super Bowl back in the
Keep going. No, that's a 70s song. Keep going. Keep going with your original. We're not going off on a tangent here.
All right. Push this button. Here we go. Was the U.S. responsible for the Nord Stream pipeline explosions? So if you recall,
decided that we did blow this up.
We think we did this, and
have not we? I started. Is this?
Doesn't everybody know this?
I thought we decided that yes, U.S. blew this up.
Well, I have an angle to get to here in a second. So it turns out that after many months, the rest of the media is now just starting to be like, "Hey, wait a second! Did the United States do that? Did the United States blow up that pipeline to stop Russia from getting gas and money and stuff and having the war going on?" So it seems like mainstream media is realizing that it just might be possible that the United States did something nefarious, like blow up a gas pipeline that would have kept people's homes warm this weekend, this winter. So this is a story in Washington Examiner, and they're asking the question: was the U.S. responsible for Nord Stream pipeline explosions? Generally the rule is if the headline asks a question, the answer is no. So, and this is an opinion piece anyway from Elizabeth Stafford. But here's the other thing. So here you can see on the Insider, and there's actually several other like news sources that are running stories like this. The claim by a discredited journalist that the U.S. secretly blew up the Nord Stream pipeline is proving a gift to Putin. So a lot of media outlets are framing this story about Seymour Hersh making the claim that the U.S. blew up the Nord Stream pipelines. They're actively discrediting him in the middle of the story. So once celebrated journalist Seymour Hersh made unproven claims. Unproven claims. Hersh won a Pulitzer in 1970, but his more recent work has come under sharp criticism. But Russia pounced on his claim endorsing it despite there being no current evidence of its truth. It, it's. I mean, you got to do the math, okay? Russia has no interest in blowing up their own pipeline. That makes no sense. So it was either the United States or somebody with high-tech submarining capabilities, and it doesn't really make sense for it to be Germany, who would have gotten the gas. It doesn't make sense for it to be several countries. It makes sense for it to be the UK or the United States. So, and I just kind of wanted to say that.
But JJ, we're not involved in the war with Ukraine and Russia. That's between Ukraine and Russia. And that has nothing to do with the United States. We're not involved at all.
Right. I agree with you, Slava Ukraine.
Just like Ukraine. That's just like we were not involved in World War II until Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. We were not involved at all.
Not at all. No. We weren't selling weapons to everybody that we could. We weren't doing that. Were we?
You need to people need to pay attention in history class more. It's very interesting. History class is very interesting if you have the appropriate teacher. That's the
This
is the teacher.
Jeremy says Britain, USA, Israel, otherwise known as usual suspects. Yeah, it's one of those. And I don't think it was Israel.
I haven't seen that movie in so long. What's the line? Give me all your money. I can't remember the line that they say. Do you remember?
Is that Unusual Suspects?
Yeah, I remember when they're in the lineup and Benicio del Toro's trying to say the line and they're like, "Can you say it?" And he's like, he's got that big thick accent, and then Stephen Baldwin gets up there and he's like, and he says the line, but he's like, he's all crazy. Oh, it's such a great movie.
That is a good movie, and the flip at the end is just like, what?
The flip at the end's great, and that's where when people talk about Unusual Suspect, that's what gets the spotlight is the flip at the end.
Yeah,
that's what always gets the spotlight. But that whole movie is brilliantly grand. You know, the casting and the acting, and it's perfectly cast. Perfectly cast.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Kevin,
that's it. Brian. I think Bryan Singer directed that, who then went on to direct X-Men, the first X-Men movie.
We won't talk about Bryan Singer. We'll just we can drop that there because
personally offended some people.
Bryan Singer's name anymore.
All right. Okay. All right. This is the last thing that we're going to talk about today. That's going to be infuriating. That's caused by the government. And this one, now, Deke, just keep a bottle on it. If you got to just button, that's okay. But I have to mention it, okay?
Great.
All right. I know.
I have no clue.
All right. It's official. The CDC has added COVID-19 vaccine to the routine immunization schedule for children and adolescents. So one, no way, not doing it. The reason why this is important is because a lot of schools will then say, well, the CDC has got it on an immunization schedule, so you can't admit your kids unless you're vaccinated. So, can I just say F these people and their stupid, nasty vaccine? COVID-19, the routine vaccination of COVID per the CDC, primary series, age 6 months to 4 years, 2-dose series at 0, 4, and 8 weeks of Moderna. You know what? No, I'm not doing it. I don't care what you guys do. I don't care if you guys say it's okay or whatever. I'm not putting experimental vaccines into my kids. It's never going to happen. I will just lie to the school and tell them it did. I'll just lie. I can print a card. I can put fake signatures on it. I don't care. I'm not doing it. And the CDC can just eat ass. That's all I have to say about it. All right, we're done. Deke, he can come back. All right. He might come back. He might not. I'm moving on. I saw this story in the New York Post last week that McDonald's had to say, I'm sorry. I think Deke did the best thing for himself and maybe for our entire channel just now.
Show. Yeah. Let's just you said something about McDonald's.
Yes. Yeah. McDonald's has to offer an apology or at the very least, they're going to have to take this sign down. McDonald's is to remove a tasteless McCrispy ad across the street from the crematorium. Now, I guess I don't actually go to McDonald's,
No,
but
across the street from a crematorium, and you said a McCrispy ad. Oh,
look at this. We have a photo. This is brutal. This is so hilariously brutal.
That's in England too, isn't it?
Yeah, this is in the UK. And so I don't even know if we have McCrispy in the US. I
No,
have
they're
no
not
idea.
called that over here. I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. So
Wow.
this is maybe kind of a
That's great. I've got to hang on, leave that on the screen for a second. I got to get a screenshot of that. That's great.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. I mean, there's literally a sign that says crematorium, and then right behind it is the ad. It looks like it's at a bus stop, maybe. So it's a bus stop wall poster.
Didn't she, Sarah?
Obviously, nobody
That's
meant any
great.
ill will. Oh, I pushed the wrong button here.
That's awesome. I
that's
love
pretty funny.
that.
All right. An advertisement for McDonald's McCrispy sandwiches placed on the street across the street from a British crematorium is reportedly being removed after being dubbed tasteless. Oh, it's a tasteless. That makes
No,
McCrispy is
the chicken sandwiches are pretty tasty, so it's not tasty. Oh, my bad.
Right.
My,
Yeah.
You're talking.
Although
That's come on.
It was just a
people.
coincidence. It's a coincidence.
Come
you can't
on,
be upset
people.
at McDonald's.
You've got to have a sense of humor. And the British sense of humor is complete. Are we sure Americans didn't bitch about this? Because British sense of humor, especially with death, is completely different than American sense of humor with death. I mean, it is. It's the British joke about death and whatnot in a way that we Americans don't. That most Americans would think that's true. That's very humorless. But to British people, it's very, I think it's funny too. I've always
they also derive a lot of humor out of being like offended about stuff, or outraged. So I can see it going both ways. It's pretty funny. It's a good story. I don't know. Okay, you know what? Let's see, what's this? That's gonna make people mad. This will make Deacon mad. Let's talk about Idris Elba instead. Cancel. Here we go. Oh man, Deacon disappeared. All right. Boop. Idris Elba rejects identity politics. Oh, I'm ready to applaud for you, Idris Elba. Reveals he no longer refers to himself as a specifically black actor. I don't want to be the first black. I want to be the first. I'm the first Idris. Oh my God. Is a powerful voice in Hollywood finally saying, "You fucking idiots."
No,
it's not about color.
No,
it's about person.
No, it doesn't. No, that you can't say is some powerful voice in Hollywood finally saying no, because Morgan Freeman said that shit. We played the video, and that was like 30 years ago. That was in the fucking 90s. So no, it doesn't matter. It's an agenda that they are pushing. It's a race agenda that they are pushing. It makes money. It causes division. It pushes policies and politics. We're not going to get rid of it, just like we're not going to get rid of cancer, JJ. If we have things that cure cancer, you're never going to widespread cure cancer because it makes too much money. Cancer research and the race stuff, it makes too much money. I do respect him a little more now, just like I respected Morgan Freeman when I heard him say that stuff. I think the same thing. We're going to finally get rid of race when we quit identifying it, when we quit saying that he's the first black man, like you said. No, he's not the first black man. He's a man. He's a man.
That's a dude.
He's just a dude. All right. And I really like this because I don't like Idris Elba for two ridiculous reasons.
Is one of them Dark Tower? Because that's not really his fault.
No, I have two ridiculous reasons why I hate Idris Elba. And when I look at him, I've even like, it's stupid. I should have no reason why I don't like this guy. I like him, but I don't like him.
No,
I did not like the Roland casting. Nothing against Idris. I love him. I think he's great, but I didn't like the Dark Tower. I didn't like that. No, you ruined that for me.
Here's the thing.
Was ruined. Matthew McConaughey fuck him. I didn't want him as the Man in Black either. That was stupid.
That
I like
should have been
Matthew
Tom Cruise,
McConaughey.
obviously.
Fuck you. No. And number 2 is I did not like his character. I did not like his character on The Office, but he played that character
Oh.
perfectly. So I have 2
really?
ridiculous reasons why I don't like him.
I'm going to say this about. Hold on, we're talking about this for a second. I'm going to say this about the Dark Tower movie. 1, I was so excited that they were going to make a Dark Tower movie, and then 2, they were like Idris Elba will be the Man in Black, or not the Man in Black, the gunslinger, and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah, we all were
that's
like,
cool.
Okay, that's not how I
obviously
pictured him in my mind's eye. He was a white man. In my mind's eye,
not just white man. It's fucking Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
it's
it was
Clint Eastwood.
You're
it's
right.
always been Clint Eastwood. And there's no way that Clint Eastwood could do it.
Yes, when he goes through the town, what was it, Deadluck or whatnot in the first book, and just destroys the whole town. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And so when they said Idris Elba, I was like,
okay, all right. That's different than I ever thought, and I'm willing to go with it. And then they made this movie, and it was like, what the fuck? I told somebody when we were watching it, my friend was like, well, that was pretty good because she had never read The Dark Tower. And I was like, no, that movie was the script. That movie was somebody told the story of Dark Tower to somebody else, and then that second person wrote it down on Post-it notes and handed it to a third person that made a script out of Post-it notes. They had no idea what the fuck Dark Tower was about.
That is that's a perfect description of that movie. Someone that read all 7 books told a brief synopsis to someone who wrote it down on Post-it notes and gave those Post-it notes to a script writer. And they wrote the movie out of the Post-it notes.
Right.
That's perfect.
So it's not that Dark Tower has Idris Elba's stink on it. Unfortunately, Idris Elba's got a little bit of the Dark Tower movie stink on it. And I don't blame him for that. He was like the only good thing in the movie, if you ask me. I mean, everything else was just like, I was literally in the movie theater just offended at like, how could you do this to the Dark Tower? What are you people doing?
That's a perfect.
Anyway, Idris was awesome. And the little spin the gun belt thing, spin the bullets across the gun belt, that was a cool visual thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
There was some cool stuff in it, but it was like, I don't know. And I don't know who you cast as the Man in Black. I don't know. That's always been like a nebulous character to me.
No name. Some no-name guy. I don't want somebody that I'm going to have to worry about his accent or his fucking, Matthew McConaughey. I ain't got no problem with Matthew McConaughey. Hey.
Yeah. All right.
Don't want him to be the Man in Black, man. Yeah, Man in Black. Walter, he was a bastard, man. By the time you get to the 4th book and you're going back to see what he done to Roland's mom and shit like that, you're like, whoa, he's a bastard.
All right. Here's I don't know what this is about. You're gonna have to tell me. This is your story. Wait, hold on. Before nope. Start tease. You don't have a break coming up, do you?
Yes, 37 seconds.
Okay, then instead of that, we'll do this other one. Maryland Democrat is pushing to a bill to add an embedded tracker to all guns. All guns.
Yeah, that'll work.
Fuck
you talk about this one because this is a ridiculous story.
Maryland delegate Pam Queen is pushing legislation that would require an embedded tracker to be added to firearms before they can be insured in a sale. That is, this Democrat, I guess this is wants the federal government to be able to track you wherever you take your pistol, for the purpose of prohibiting a person from engaging in certain bulk firearm transfer unless each firearm... No, you're not putting trackers in guns. One, it's not going to work. Oh, we'll put it in the... I don't have my pistol with me. You put it in the lower receiver, the plastic part. I'll just print a replacement. Just use 3D printing to print a replacement lower. And then what are you going to do? Because the lower is not the part that you worry about. It's really the barrel and the upper, right? Those are made of metal. You're not putting a tracker inside of metal, you dipshit. But this tells you where Maryland's at. The bill says the tracking device is to be embedded so that it cannot be removed, disabled, or destroyed without rendering permanently inoperable or destroying the frame or receiver. I guarantee you, if they try to implement this, there would be immediately videos of like how to turn off your tracker, how to destroy your how to disable your tracker. And nobody would be buying guns that have trackers in them. They'd just buy them not in Maryland. You'd buy them anywhere else. National Shooting Sports Foundation General Counsel Larry Keane commented on Miss Queen's push to track firearms, saying, not only is this a clear violation of privacy rights and constitutional protections against illegal search and seizure, this is an idea that's not even technologically possible. This is the stuff of Hollywood and anti-gun politicians that don't understand the first thing about firearms or the manufacturing process.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
What
So
did
you
I
missed
miss?
all
Some
that.
stupid woman saying we don't need guns and guns are bad and they kill people. All
Yeah.
right, cool.
Yeah,
Next.
guns is bad. Put magic trackers in them, and then somebody who this is a good quote. I just read this, but not only is it clear she doesn't understand privacy and constitutional rights. This is an idea that's not even technologically possible. This is the stuff of Hollywood, and anti-gun politicians don't understand the first thing about firearms or the manufacturing process. It's a good quote. So, yeah.
All right. Do I need to get a story or something?
I got another one here. Oh, but this is the one I was going to tell you before. So maybe you can tell me what's going on here about Lady Gaga. What's up with Lady Gaga?
Are you talking to me? Oh, here. I posted this story because I come across this little tweet. It's all it was. It's a tweet from the New York Post. And Lady Gaga's dad. Okay, first of all, let me mention something about Lady Gaga. Her name is Stephanie something.
Oh yeah.
I don't particularly like her music. It's not my cup of tea. But Lady Gaga is a musician that I have respect for because of what she has went through in the music industry to be where she's at. Okay, she actually has a very beautiful voice. You know, that's Stephanie has a very beautiful voice, and she didn't get any recognition at all as an up and coming pop star until she changed her name to something fucking crazy and wore meat and Kermit the Frogs and made a spectacle of herself. And now everybody's like, oh, she's so good and so talented.
Avant-garde.
This is how stupid and fucking idiotic our goddamned world is because this beautiful, talented woman tried to make it in our fucking wonderful world that we call the United States of America, the
on merit.
on earth, that you can do anything you want is what my fucking parents told me. All you've got to do is try, Andrew, and you can do anything you want. Well, little Stephanie got out there and she's got natural talent and she tried to sing and everybody pissed on her. So what did she do? She fucking dressed up like Gene Simmons, Alice Cooper, Brian Warner, all these fucking people did over the years and created a character. And now we revere her as one of the greats or whatnot. Okay, well, we're idiots. She is great. That's beside the point. I wanted to get to the point that I respect Lady Gaga. I don't like her music, but I respect Lady Gaga. Her dad came to New York, and this is what the New York Post tweeted. Lady Gaga's dad, Joe blah blah blah, slams horrible New York, smells like weed everywhere. Now, I don't know how many of you listening or watching are from New York. I hope a bunch of you. Or how many of you have actually been to New York? JJ and I have been to New York City together. And how many years ago was it now? 3? 4?
I think that was 2019. Was it 2019 or 2018? Might have been 2019. It was like 4 years ago. I don't know. It was before 2020.
Yeah, it was before 2020. And
I think it was 2018, maybe. I don't know.
And if you don't know, JJ's in Texas and I'm in Kentucky, and we had never been to New York before. And I did not ever want to go to New York. I had no want to do it. But we were getting paid. Disney was sending us to New York. So yeah, it smelled like, and this was 2018 when I don't know if New York's a legal state, but CBD and hemp smells just like marijuana, sometimes even worse than marijuana. Very stinky. And New York smelled like
Does it
weed.
really? I don't know.
Well, I kept pointing it out to you. Don't you remember me kept pointing it out to you? It's like, oh, there's weed. There's weed. I smell weed. I smell weed. I smell weed. Because it's just a weird smell to smell when you're just walking down the freaking street. But the other thing that they say in this that and then people commenting on this post say, and I completely agreed, was that New York City smells like piss. It smells like pee everywhere. And it's just a bad time to be having a conversation here. I'm going to let him get done because I can't continue about yes.
Yeah, definitely. New York has a particular aroma.
Yes,
it's a place of a particular fragrances.
I just
That's
thought
fine.
we both went. We could have a conversation about that. But, no.
I mean, I don't really have a very good smeller, to be honest. I don't smell things very much. My wife talks about it all the time, that she has like a super sniffer, and I'm like, she's like, do you smell that? And I'm like, nah, I don't. I don't. She's over here like she's about to come over here and comment on my not ability to smell things. There was so many times during the pandemic that my wife thought that I had COVID because I couldn't smell things, and I was just like, this is just normal. I don't smell things very much. Like, you gotta take something that's fragrant, and I gotta like put it like straight up in my nose, and then finally breathe it.
I am so late for a doctor's appointment, but like the dog can shit behind him. Okay. And then I would be like, what's that smell? Because they were on the couch or whatever. And he's like, I don't smell anything. And he like, is it called gaslighting when you convince someone that they don't actually?
Yeah.
That's when you. Yeah.
And then I find it, and I want to choke him in his sleep. Like, I smelled it all along. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would be gaslighting if I knew that the dog had pooped there, but then acted like I didn't.
Just convince me I'm a moron. No, don't say moron.
All right. Hey, my wife's going to love this one too. She's over here. She can hear involuntarily. Deacon, have you ever watched Grease? I know for many people it is one of those iconic things. It's like such a big deal. I don't give a shit about Grease.
You don't like, come on, JJ.
I don't care about Grease. I don't care. I never cared. I never was interested. I never seen it. I don't care. I know
you've never seen it.
Dancing.
You've just never seen it for real.
I've never watched it.
I
watched about.
And you're not. You haven't.
I watched about 5 minutes of the Grease live teleproduction from about 5 or 6 years ago, and I was like, "Oh, she sounds good," and then I stopped watching it. And I only watched that because I knew that girl performing I guess as Rizzo, her mom or dad, one of her parents had just died like days before the production, and she was still going live on the air. And I was like, wow, that's pretty. I mean, like that's incredible that she's still even able to perform this, knowing that she's internally just grieving. So I know Grease is important to some people. It just isn't important to me. But since it's important to some people, I thought I would mention that Paramount Plus is going to make a Grease spinoff called the Rise of the Pink what is it? Pink Ladies. Yeah. Ladies. Okay. So here's a Breitbart story.
Because we have no originality in Hollywood anymore. We have to take shit from the past and try to expand on it. We can't create new stories of our own, but we have to change. This is changing our history. Okay. You are watching it in action because they did not walk around like that in the 50s. I am sorry. I'm not saying anything wrong here, but the Asian girl and the black girl would have not been in the group with the white girls walking down the hall. That's the way it was. That's history. I'm not saying that's the way I want it. I'm saying that's how history was. You can't change it just because you're telling the story 70 years later and our times have evolved. You can't change the story. This is and now kids, my grandkids are going to watch movies and shows like this and they're going to see this shit, and they're not going to read the books, JJ, because how many motherfuckers read nowadays? Nobody does, because everybody is fucking retarded nowadays, looking at their phone and drooling. Nobody reads. All right. So everybody in 50 years, we're getting to Idiocracy. I'm explaining the freaking plot of Idiocracy. All right. And this is what's going to happen. People are going to look back and say, oh, the 50s were like this. And then somebody is going to come out and say, wait a minute, the Civil War was actually about blank, blank, and blank. And they're going to go, you're a fucking dumbass liar. You're a liar, liar, liar. Pants on fire.
How can you be a racist? Oh, my God.
Racist because you're saying, well, maybe I'm telling you some fucking facts that you were brainwashed into not thinking. And this is, you're watching it happen. You're watching it happen. It's all right if y'all in Greece. I just thought,
watch it. I don't
was like, oh, that's like a jaw dropper. Even I've seen freaking Grease.
Jordan says he's never seen Grease either, and then my brother said I'm not gay either.
Well, I would have never guessed that your brother had ever seen Grease. Good God Almighty!
No, my brother has a degree.
Your brother is so homophobic that I'm afraid when he walks down the Walmart makeup aisle, he's going to burst into flames. All right.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, but that's what I believe.
The war is on.
I'm not gay. I have no gay tendencies about me whatsoever, but I'm comfortable with my body. I will give my brother a hug and a kiss on the cheek because I love him.
All right. Grease gets a woke prequel series with marginalized lead characters.
I'm just messing with you. I'm not trying to start a fucking war here. I'm just messing with you, dude.
Marginalized lead characters, queer and anti-racist plot lines. They're not only going like, oh, we're going to make this woke. They're like, oh, we're going to make this the banner flag of wokeness. All right, here we go. An upcoming Paramount Plus.
Hey, I've got to go. I can't. My show, my radio show is suffering.
All right, bud. All right, I'm sorry. 2 seconds. Okay. All right. My kid's in the thing. She thinks she's taking a shower or whatever.
She will. I got her a towel.
Okay. Okay. An upcoming Paramount Plus series for the 1978 hit John Travolta movie Grease is aiming for an ultra woke theme by focusing on characters with marginalized identity, lesbian kissing scenes, and more. All set in 1954, supposedly 4 years before the events of the movie Grease. Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies will air on Paramount Plus streaming services starting in April and is set to follow the creation of a quasi-girl gang called the Pink Ladies. The group in the movie 1978 was led by Rizzo. This will have none of the original characters. None of the original characters. They're going 4 years before those characters were in high school, and it's just going to be a bunch of women doing women stuff. I'm sure it'll be amazingly entertaining. Good luck to Paramount Plus and this incredible series of bad decisions that you can anticipate right now. Oh my God, 5 minutes of dead air. 5 minutes of dead air. There's no way you had 5 minutes of dead air. All right. All right. I'm sorry, Deacon. I'm sorry. Wow, that's not good. After the... all right, Deacon's in troubles. Got to handle it. Wow. Even the music will not follow the template for the original movie, which, basically featured the rise of rock and roll. This will be pre-rock and roll. In the event, the series will instead evoke Latinx and black music of the 40s and 50s, according to Entertainment Weekly. Despite appearing to have none of the features of the original movies, Oakes insisted that fans of the original should be happy with the new series. However, she opined, anytime you do a period piece, you're using a little bit of modern lens and you're talking about what's different and what hasn't changed. So, Grease. The Grease prequel, I bet it'll be amazing. I'm sure it's going to be fascinating. And I don't know if we'll be back tomorrow because Deacon definitely is... I don't want to get him in trouble. Okay. I don't want to get him in trouble. So I'll be back, but I don't know what Deacon's going to decide to do because I do not want Deacon getting in trouble for having dead air. And I feel pretty bad about that. Okay. Now my kid's over here trying to take a shower by herself. She doesn't have any idea what she's doing. and I need to go take care of her. So I will be back. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.